the SimZone's Season 8 GT3 Championship, powered by MOZA Racing. The championship consists of 8 weekly rounds, starting in Watkins Glen, New York, and ending in Brands Hatch, UK. At the end of the season, the winner of the championship will receive the MOZA Racing R5 bundle. The R5 bundle includes the MOZA Racing R5 direct drive wheelbase with 5.5 Newton meters of peak torque. The MOZA ES steering wheel with 22 programmable buttons. And the SRP light racing pedals, made of high-strength steel. Founded by automotive engineers and sim racing drivers, MOZA is a leading innovator in camera stabilization systems and vehicle stability technology. MOZA Racing released their first sim racing products in 2021, and since then, there have been a variety of products for the pros and for home. MOZA Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. MOZA Racing has also received numerous positive reviews. Here are just some of them.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the SimZone. We're back for round 4 of the MOZA Racing GT3 Championship, and once again, I am joined by Cody.
Yes, thanks for having me again on the MOZA Championship stream.
Yeah, it's great to have you back, and this time, almost losing the car, but we are at Zandvoort this time, a track we haven't been to in a very long time, but it's good to see it back, and it's going to throw up some exciting racing. We know it's a very narrow circuit, but I'm going to leave the corner names to you, as you are Dutch, and you have actually been on this circuit in real life before, if I'm correct.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you'll know it more than any of us, especially the corner names, because I've got no clue at the moment. But looking at the qualifying times, is extremely close. The top 2 just separated by 800ths here. The Campo on provisional pole, followed by Matt Whitburn in P2. Then Pisano in P3, just 2/10 off. Booth being P4. Oh wait, nope. He goes across the line there, just improves there. 600ths now off of the Campo. And he is currently a 10th up, exiting turn 1, but looks like he's lost it on the exit. But look how close this grid is so far, and it's definitely going to throw up some exciting racing with, like I said earlier, with it being such a narrow track. Not much room for overtaking at all. So we could see some very long trains of battles throughout the field. Let's see who else is up for an improvement. Thomas currently sitting in P9. I know he's not a huge fan of Zandvoort. He said it's probably one of his worst tracks. So we'll see if he can find a few more 10s. And in fact, a couple of 10s moves you up quite a few positions, with it being so close here, from P9 to P1, or from P10 to P1. Everyone's within a second.
Yeah, it's really close again, but it's good to see that the field is so competitive at it's such a tight track. So hopefully we have a lot of overtaking.
Yeah, definitely. And going into this round, let's just bring up the standings in a second. We don't actually have the graphic this time around, but we can read out the standings to you. So coming into this,
P1.
yep, Boothby once again leading the championship. Coming into this round, he's had back-to-back wins from the start, and he's sitting on 212 points. Pisano obviously didn't race in, actually no, DNF'd in round 2. That would be at Donington Park, and he's had back-to-back then podiums, P2 in round 1 and in round 3, and Matteo De Campo, P3 in the championship, finished 2nd at Donington and 4th in the first round, which I can't actually remember what it was. In fact, we could check. First round was Watkins Glen, of course, yes. So Watkins Glen was the first round here, and then Michael Thomas in P4 on 181 points, and Simon Yezi in P5 180, so very close between those two. And that is Thomas off into the gravel, and Boothby isn't going to put it on pole just yet. It's so close between the top two. Look at that, 200ths separating the top two. In fact, they both improved that last lap. Boothby did a 134.800, and Matteo De Campo did a 134.775. Now these two were extremely close at Donington Park in round 2 as well, but as soon as Boothby got that overtake done, which wasn't an easy overtake, he was able to pull away after the pit stops. In fact, I think De Campo made a slight error in the pit stops. He was about 2 seconds slower while pitting, so that's pretty much what lost him the time to Boothby, and then Boothby from there took the race win once again at Donington. But De Campo a 10th up this lap, 2 tenths up, so he's looking to improve even more, and Boothby on a lap at the moment doesn't seem to be, actually no, he does now. Boothby improving by a 10th, but he's still got a whole way to go around the track. The deltas are flashing between these two drivers on who's going to take pole next. We switch to Matt Whitburn, who's currently a 10th up as well.
And he's looking for an improvement going into the last corners.
And in fact, Whitburn could be on the cards for a podium here as well. He's 2 tenths up, and the gap between P4 and P1 is 2.5 tenths, so he can find 3 tenths up if he can hold this till the line. We come through the final corner now. Is it going to be enough for Whitburn? Let's see as he crosses the line. What's it going to be? It is provisional pole for Whitburn as he crosses the line there.
8 thousandths.
What a lap. But Boothby 3 tenths up, even more importantly, and he's coming up towards the final corner now. Looks like he's going to snatch pole from Whitburn. Let's see, and it looks to be like he will. So Boothby's going to put it back on provisional pole with a minute to spare in this qualifying session. There we go, 34.5, and wow, talk about cutting it close. He's only got 1 more lap to go. And he's
What
done
a
it.
lap from Boothby.
Yeah, he's done it, but it's not over yet. De Campo is up for an improvement. He's going to be pushing to the limit on this lap. As you can see there, already 2 tenths up through the chicane. I think he's going to lose a bit on the exit. Pisano's a 10th up as well. They're still on the cards for De Campo, but let's see. He's got 1 more lap after this. He'll cross the line just in time, but we'll see if he has enough fuel or enough tyres to continue. But he's going to snatch P2 off of Matt Whitburn. So there we go. De Campo up into P2 in just 600ths separating P1 and P2 here. No, he's going to return the car to the pits. So there we go. That's his qualifying session over. The time is going to hit 0 now. Boothby's still out on track, but not up for an improvement just yet. Pisano and P4 currently 4/10ths off, but looks to be a 10th up at the moment.
And with the Hondas and the Porsches in the front of the pack on the qualifying, OP8 almost everything is a Honda or a Porsche. It's only Sealy and Thomas with a different car choice. Pisano going to the Arie Luijendijk corner, the last corner. It's now banked, the famous banking. Going up to the line, he's 1/10th up.
Not going to be... Oh, it's so close there to gain P3, but there we have it. Doesn't look like anyone else is really going to improve. So Boothby starts on pole, De Campo in P2, Whitburn in P3, and rounding off the second row, Pisano in P4. We'll be back very shortly for the start of this 1 hour race here at Zandvoort. Right, we're back for the start of the race here. In fact, we've got the formation lap first. You can see all the drivers getting their cars ready. Lights will be going on as well. It is dark here, 4 AM though, but it is expected to go light towards the end of the race. So just have to wait and see. But it is a fast track. So I think that's the first race where we've had a fast track. Actually, yeah, I think it is the first race where we've had a fast track. Can't quite remember.
And with Zandvoort being such a tight track, it's a recipe for disaster, I think. or a recipe for very good racing. Could be both.
Yeah, I think we'll have some good racing going on. I mean, there's not really much room for overtaking, and I think everyone on the first lap is just going to try and keep their nose clean. They're not really going to be going for any silly moves into turn 1, especially. I hope, at least. Once again, Boothby put it on pole just at the last second in that interesting livery of his. But the Campo in P2. Now these two, like I said, were very, very close at Donington, so I think Boothby's going to have a bit of a challenge here, especially with the Porsche going extremely fast in the corners. But it is Honda, Porsche, Honda, Honda, Porsche, and then, like you said, Aston, Porsche, Audi, Porsche, Honda. So it's just Porsches and Hondas at the top, bar the odd two.
Yeah, and hopefully, as you said, in the first corner, it's called the Tarzan corner. Hopefully everyone will act nicely and not like Tarzan.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one you said. The only one I can pronounce. Tarzan corner. The other ones I'll leave to you.
Oh, but Boothby doesn't even need his lights with his livery, so that's.
Oh yeah, you can see that thing from space, of course. And I think that's going to be a big distraction for the drivers behind. Boothby's beautiful livery out in front.
At least it's special, let me say it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it was made by... Actually, no, let's not go there. I was going to say it looks like it was made by someone nursery or kindergarten, whatever you call it. No, it's abstract, let's say.
Yeah, maybe someone went first to Amsterdam and then they made his livery. But
I think we'll spare him the embarrassment. Here we go. Travis lining up 2x2 now, getting ready for the race start. Now this last corner is a bit tricky. Sometimes, well, if you make a mistake, you're gonna have a big lift. And especially if you're going side by side through there, which you don't usually see on the start, they won't have to worry about that final corner. We will be on the straight, and I believe, yeah, I don't think anyone will be starting while they're halfway through the corner, so we should be okay. But turn 1 is very, very tight, and this is where it matters, keeping your nose clean. And we should be green any moment now once they cross the next line. Here we go, we are green. Boothby off to a good start with the Porsche on the outside for De Campo, using that acceleration to try and stay in front. It's not going to be enough though. He's going to try to hang it around the outside, but he's going to have to slot back onto that racing line, which he does. So De Campo in P2, Whitburn still in P3. And look at this, we are 3 wide in the background. Someone's going to have to back out of this, and luckily they do. Thomas moving down a position. He's got Sealy on the outside. Sealy being swamped at the moment. Started P6, he's already down to P8 here. So we're getting overtaken by the Porsches, but we are so close here in the back. Looks like that is Vining just in the back of these two, Cosford and Sealy just up ahead, and he's being hounded by McFarquhar, who didn't have a great race last time out Spa. I believe he retired the car. But he's had a good start to this race. Bit of grass being thrown up into the air. And looks like he's going to go for a move on Vining. No, has to back out of that. Look at this train, Cody. It's absolutely crazy. But I think, more importantly, we've had a very good start.
One Aston Martin was a little bit wide. I believe it was Sealy. But still a very good start. Not many major incidents. Still cars going 3 wide. In the Hans Ernstbocht, but the rest of the time it's been very clean. It's just one big train now. Yeah,
and actually, looks like Poulin has gone off the track. He's down in P23 at the moment. Actually, no, he's all the way. I think he might be last now. And Walker, who you can see there, diving into the pits now. Oh, what's happened there? Well, luckily he stayed connected, but he has got a drive-through penalty. His connection was bouncing up there. Looks like Poulin into the pits now as well. Is that Vesala into the pits? They've got some damage. Vesala, Poulin and Walker now all into the pits. So not a great start for them three. But for the rest of the field,
A great start. A great start for Boothby, already creating a gap of 7/10.
yeah, it's not a whole lot though. Usually we see him pull away a lot more than this, but De Campo is going to stick with him as much as he can. And likewise is Matt Whitburn. He's sparks flying there as he just bounces over the curb, but he is very much in this battle. So we'll see what he's able to do.
With the curbs in the second sector, they are really high, and all these cars being really low, can cause some interesting moments. So you need to watch out for that, especially in the dark, where you cannot see an awful lot. It's Pisano catching up to Traction Dave, I believe. The gap only half a second.
Yeah, Traction Dave just up in front, leading this train. So it's Traction Dave.
Oh, wide from Pisano, almost in the wall.
Yeah, luckily he didn't come off worse from that. Cosford going defensive, coming up towards turn one. He's on the inside, but it looks like that was, who was that? I think that was Thomas.
Witfoot.
Oh yeah, Witfoot. Oh, I think that's Vesala there just letting the lead cars through. But yeah, Witfoot making a bit of contact there with Thomas. I think Thomas tried it around the outside, but it didn't pay off for him, and he's sandwiched in between the two Ballas Esports. I believe it is Ballas Esports. Let's hope I haven't got that wrong. Yes, it is Ballas Esports Porsches. So he's got one in front of him, one behind him. He's going to be seeing double by the end of this race, I think, or by the time they make some pit stops. But we've got a Red Kings Motorsport driver there in between the Porsches, and you've got one behind the Porsches as well there, finding in the Honda just behind. Then you've got McFarquhar on in this train, then Leon Searley rounding off the tail end of it. But you can see there in the background there's another battle going on. But yeah, pretty much this train is from P11 to P6. So 5 cars in this train at the moment.
And I think with them battling, the train will extend a bit, because overtaking on Zandvoort isn't really an easy place. The Traction Dave still trying to defend from Pisano, going onto the straight. These guys losing some time to the car in front with the gap already 2.5 seconds. I think Traction Dave is trying to only look in his mirror and keep the car on track and defend for his life.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to survive the onslaught into turn one. That's really where the Honda would have been able to get a move done due to the straight line speed. But luckily, for Dave, luckily he was able to hold on, and he's now pulling away from Pisano actually.
Maybe the Porsche has the better speed in the second sector, and the Honda in the third.
Yeah, it seems like it at the moment. Or Pisano's just made a bit of a mistake, but they haven't really lost any time to this train behind. You can see there, it's going to have to do some serious defending with Thomas all over the back of him here. Doesn't want to open up the door whatsoever. You can see there once again, like you mentioned, bouncing over the curbs. They are quite high, some of these curbs, especially into this chicane here. You've got to really watch the insides. Got a bit of sleeping policeman on the inside of the second half as well. If you get over them, it's pretty much game over.
And with Zandvoort having a lot of walls near where the sleeping policemen are, and
what's happened there?
There's Pisano.
Yeah, he's made a mistake. I think out of the final corner, he's been swamped into turn one there. Thomas and both Porsches, Witfoot and Cosford, both getting past, and Pisano down into P8 now.
Yeah.
So where did Pisano start? He started P4. Yeah, he's lost 4 positions off the start already. It's a real shame for Pisano. But it's not over yet. we're only seven minutes into the race, so there's still plenty of time to go to get moves done. And with this being such a tight track, Cosford nearly tapping the back of a bit there, but with Zandvoort being such a tight track and not many overtakes being done. Oh, there's been contact. Pisano making contact there with the Porsche, and they've collected Vining as well. He's not going to be happy with that one bit, but I think that was completely Pisano's fault. Just tapping the back of the Porsche there. He's following way too close. That's what happens into the braking zones. But what I was saying before they made contact is, with this track being so narrow and not many overtakes being done, pit stops are going to be crucial. There's going to be a lot of undercuts going on, a lot of opportunities for undercuts at least, and I think that's where a lot of positions will be gained. We look back to the top two, and DeCampo's closed down that gap once again to under a second, so they continue to battle, but not close enough for any overtakes just yet.
Oh, and DeCampo is only 1 second back. He's gaining quite a bit on Boothby. Boothby, of course, as we can see, in the bright Honda. But this is the place that the Honda shines on the straight parts against the Porsche. But the Porsche still within a second.
Yeah, he's within a second, and I think he's going to keep, Boothby's going to keep DeCampo at bay here. He doesn't want to push too hard to let the tyres drop off too much, especially with, actually the track's gone back to optimum, so there's a bit more grip on the track, but I wouldn't suspect it's fully optimum, so drivers will still need to be a bit careful, but Boothby doesn't really want to push too much at the moment, just in case he does make any mistakes or lets the tyres drop off too much, and then that would obviously give DeCampo a huge advantage. You can see there sparks flying from that Honda up in front, but we look down to Seeley, who's in P8 here, not too far off of Pisano, but they've pretty much gapped each other out now. Pisano with another mistake, that's why he's been losing the car lap after lap, and looks like he's going to drive into the pits. Pisano has not had a good race whatsoever, and don't think it's a drive-through. I think he's no, it's just got some damage, and he's really struggling with the car. Yeah, I think he's tapped the wall, not Jan,
a couple of times,
but yeah, quite a few times here. And look at this train we've got in the background for P12. It's Pryor leading this train, followed by Barton there in P13, then Van Hoorn, then Bilotti, two Assetto Racing team drivers. They're battling for position at the moment. Bilotti looking for the move on the inside. Is Van Hoorn going to leave him the room? No, he's not. And you can see there Christian Oesch in P16 in the background. We've got two more cars, Kennedy in P17, not far from this train, and Hartfield, Lamborghini and Audi, who could easily catch up to this train. I think they're actually closing in. 1.6 seconds now to this train up in front, and with them battling this hard, we could expect to see more cars side by side here. Just up in front, we've got Pryor defending against Barton. Barton trying it around the outside. He's got it done, and he's going to have the inside for the next corner. I think he's got it done even before the braking zone. No, they're still side by side. Someone's got to have to back out of this, and there we go. Pryor backs out of that, and what a great move from Barton round the outside and up a position into P12. You can see as a result, look who's caught up, Kennedy and Hartfield, both on the back of this train now. So watch this, P12 to P17, yeah, all battling. The 18, yeah, sorry, all battling for position. This is another great battle going on, and well, we just have to wait and see what happens between these what's it, 6 cars in this battle. Is absolutely amazing.
So one little mistake can end the race for a couple of drivers. Let's not hope, and they have it clean.
Yeah, Barth,
Bilotti
yeah.
trying to overtake Oosh still.
Yeah, in fact, Oosh has actually got past Bilotti. Bilotti was just behind Van Hoorn, the other Aston Martin. So he's lost the position there. And Barth saying, where is Harry Clayton? Look, P22 now. So he's gained a position as Clayton.
And one thing I just saw, Traction Dave lost a lot of positions and he's gone back to P8.
Yes, he has. He's dropped down to P8 now. I'm not sure if he's got any damage on the car. We can quickly have a look. No, he looks to be okay. Maybe he's lost it himself. We don't quite know. The top two now separated nearly by 2 seconds. We've got Thomas and Wittwit still battling for position here in P4 and P5, but they're not extremely close. Well, not as close as this battle we were watching earlier, and you can see that's Oosh slightly wide, and Pryor was also slightly wide. Is that going to allow Van Hoorn for a move up the inside into turn one? No, he's going to be sensible there and just stick behind Pryor for now. You can see there Van Hoorn looking left and right, trying for a move, but he's going to try it around the outside here. We're going to have to go. Nope, we're not going to have to go to track side just yet. And Oosh had a look, had a sniff up the inside. In fact, he's made a mistake as Oosh, and that's going to allow Bilotti back through. Oosh looked like he got a bit of oversteer, went onto the grass, and that, allowed Bilotti to get back through and up into P15 again. Look at that, Van Hoorn trying the inside here. Is he going to get it done? Looks like he will be able to. Pryor's left the door open, and there we go. Can he hold it around the outside though, Pryor, to have the inside for the next corner? He's going to try it, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Pryor. Van Hoorn still on the outside, and he's got that move done. What a move there from Van Hoorn. He set that one up well before, and it paid off. Round the outside there. And Pryor had to back out.
Not an easy job for Van Hoorn. Staying on the outside. And the outside normally a bit slower there.
Yeah. And he just forced Pryor to back out of that move. Pryor didn't have much space on the inside. And that's what you've got to do when you're overtaking around the outside. You've got to leave just enough room. And you've got to make sure the driver on the inside takes the slower line, and you can get the faster speed around the corner, around the outside. That's exactly what Van Hoorn did. But now that may leave him to pull away from this pack, because Pryor's going to have to defend against Bilotti in the other Aston, and the train is forming back up once again. Kennedy here in P17 has actually pulled away from Hartfield by about 1.2 seconds, so he's still on the back of this train. That last lap, a 1:37.7, so nearly, about a second and a half quicker than Christian Oosh in P16. So he's really on a mission, is Kennedy here, and he's trying to catch up to this pack and maybe even get a move done here on Oosh. It's definitely possible, but I think he's just going to be patient for now and wait for the drivers in front to make any mistakes.
Yeah, with the best opportunities for Kennedy to make a move is into turn 1 or into turn 4. Those are the corners you can really, not really send it, but if you're close enough you can stick your nose in and you can pass the car in front. But coming up to the last long corner here, Harry Luijendijk, with Kennedy only 7/10, all these drivers from P14 to P17 are all within 7/10 of each other, so really close racing. With Bilotti in P15, the closest on Pryor with only...
Actually, he's gone wide though.
He made a mistake?
Yeah, he did make a mistake into turn 1, and that's made him fall into the clutches of Oosh. And we also saw into turn 1 Kennedy eyeing up a move on Oosh, but it was a bit too late there, so he backed out of the move sensibly, but he's really trying to force Oosh into a mistake here. so he can try and capitalise on that and gain a position or two. But for now, it's all about consistency here, and for Bilotti, that was a huge error. Luckily, he didn't lose position. He did well to fend off Hooschii, but look how much time they've lost to Pryor and Van Hoorn up in front. They're about a second back now, and they are losing time here, losing lap time by battling this hard. We're going to quickly switch to Thomas and Wittvoet, who are so close here. Thomas actually got the move done, I think. He's got in front of Wittvoet, so he's up into P4, but can the Porsche get back? And in fact, Cosford's dropped down to P7 as well, so something's happened to Cosford. But luckily they're still there or thereabouts, and the top two still only separated by 1.2 seconds. They're both lapping in the 1:34.6s, so very even pace between those two. And I think it'll come down to the pit stops once again. Look how close Wittvoet is on the back of Thomas. He's pushing him around the corners here, and he's putting on the pressure for Thomas. I don't think he'll be thinking about a podium this time around. He's 8.2 seconds back to P3, but it's never over. He's going to have to try and focus on defending P4, because Wittvoet is hounding him at the moment.
And of course, Wittvoet is, I believe, Dutch, so maybe using some local knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. He might even know this track. He might even visited this track in person. We don't know, but like you said, he's going to be at his home track. So he's going to have that extra morale coming into this round, and especially on the track right now. He's got a bit deep though. That's allowed Thomas to put a slight gap, maybe give him a bit of breathing room. And he might not have to think about defending coming into turn one. But I think Wittvoet's still very close, and he's going to have the slipstream now all the way down the start-finish straight. So we'll see what that gap comes down to. It's down to 0.3 already. Actually, I think Thomas is okay. He knows Wittvoet's not going to lunge from that far back. He hasn't had to think about defending this time around. Just got a bit of a breather now. We'll quickly switch to that train we had going on for P14.
And I believe Pryor passed Bilotti are still fighting, as you can see, going into the first corner, and I believe Bilotti was passed for a quick second, but Pryor took back P14 from him, and I believe Bilotti also really needs to defend from Hooschii, who's right on his back.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to catch a break so far. I don't think any of these drivers have, but looking back to Hartfield, I think Kennedy's made a mistake. He's down in P18 now, and he's lost that position to Hartfield. He was right on the back of Hooschii, and that gap's now about 3 seconds to Hooschii, from Hooschii to Kennedy. He's definitely made a mistake somewhere, but it wasn't too bad because he's still pretty much there or thereabouts, especially if these three up in front, Van Hoorn, Pryor, Bilotti and Hooschii continue to battle. Hartfield and Kennedy will be right back on this train once again. You can see, in fact, they're already closing back up, so that just goes to show how hard they're battling. And it looks like Walker, after his drive-through penalty, is catching up to this train as well. He's only 2 seconds back to Kennedy, and Walker was quite high up the grid, so he's out of position now, and I think he won't really have much trouble catching up to the rest of this pack.
I just have a little look on the red cans of Kennedy's stream, and I saw he had a half spin into one of the corners, so that's why I felt past him. Kennedy making a little mistake.
Well, luckily he was able to save it then, and he didn't go into the wall. And I know Jan's watching. We've said the wall multiple times now. Yeah, you'll probably love hearing his name, even though it's not exactly in reference to him. But Bilotti once again a bit wide there, and is that going to allow Hooschii down the inside? It's not. Bit of a wiggle on the exit for Hooschii, so he's not going to get the run he needs to get past Bilotti just yet. You can see that the gaps getting slightly bigger between these three once again, but more importantly, Hartfield has caught up, Kennedy's caught up, and Walker has also caught up. So we've got another, pretty much, another 6-car, is that 6? Yeah, another 6-car battle for E14. A 5-car battle, in fact.
Yes, and Kennedy within 4/10 of Hartfield, trying to set himself up for a move and looking on the inside and on the outside. The next corner is not really for any overtaking. I believe the best thing for Kennedy to do is wait for the first corner and hopefully stick it close. As we can see, this great cameraman doing his job.
Yeah, Kennedy's got a good exit though, it's slight lift, and Hartfield diving into the pits there. The pit window is now, has been open for a little while, about 5 minutes now. So he's not going to be involved in this battle. Maybe eyeing up an undercut with these three battling very hard just up in front, and it could actually work, but I think it's going to have to be down to outlaps and inlaps. It's going to be so important here. You can see there in the mirrors, side mirrors of Kennedy, that is Walker just behind. And looking at the bottom right, that looks to be Thomas and Bitroot going side by side here. Looks like Thomas is going to be able to hold on just about, but it was a slight glimpse of hope there for Bitroot to get past. But with these two battling, Seeley is only 3 seconds behind. They'll be catching up to these two very, very quickly with how much Thomas is having to defend. You can see there he's taking a slightly narrower line through the final corner, and is he going to dive into the pits? Looks like he is. So probably a wise decision there from Thomas to get out of that battle as soon as possible. And we can see here that is Osh and Walker going side by side. Walker's got that move done on Osh. And Kennedy
trying to
follow him through.
Osh.
Yeah. It didn't work this time around, and he's trying it into the penultimate corner. He's just throwing these dummies in to force Osh into a mistake. This could be a very good exit for Kennedy. Can he get this done into turn 1, or is he going to dive into the pits? No, he's going to go for this move. He's backed out of it. He's pulled back into the slipstream. Is he going to go for it? No, he's backed out of that move. Looks like the Ferrari on the straight just had the edge, but it was a very good attempt there from Kennedy. Tried everything he could, but I think if he continues with the pressure, it's going to work one time or another on Osh. And if he continues with those dummies as well, it's going to be very important, because Osh has been making a few mistakes since the start. We could fall into another one at some point.
And with the second sector, you can make a lot of mistakes, especially here in this corner, Schijfvlak, really tight, really fast, and a lot of gravel on the outside. Also the corners we are driving into right now, two really tight corners, so he needs to stick on the wing of Osh so he can stay in the slipstream.
Yeah, exactly. And for those that are watching, be sure to vote for your driver of the day or your favourite driver. The voting is open, and we will close towards the end of the race, so be sure to get your votes in before the race is over. We're almost halfway into this race now, so just click on the link that's pinned in the live chat, and it'll take you directly to the voting. We switch now to, I believe that's Bilotti and Pryor still battling for position.
Yeah, these two being a really good match together, almost same pace, but as we see, it's really hard to pass on this track. Bilotti trying a different line, maybe for a better exit on the last corner that we just saw, but there's someone at the back of this pack, and it's Walker. He's trying to attack Bilotti.
Yeah, he's trying to get past, and once again, with these three battling this hard, Matt Pryor slightly deep there, missing the apex. That's going to allow Bilotti down the inside. Pryor's going to have to give him the room, but no, Bilotti backs out of that move, and that's going to allow Walker to get alongside and have the inside for the next corner. He's capitalised on that mistake, and there we go, upper position goes Walker, and like I said, look in the background, Osh and Kennedy have caught back up once again into this battle. So they are still sticking with these three. And it just shows you
really
how much
smart move.
Yeah, just shows you how much time they're losing, lap after lap, corner after corner, by battling this hard.
Yeah, and hopefully, what I would do if I was one of the cars battling, I would dive into the pits and try for the undercut.
And Kennedy looking for him. Sorry, Walker looking for a move down the inside. Tried the dummy. He's gonna stick it on the outside. He's gone deep. And will that allow Bilotti through? No, he's not going to be close enough to get that move done. Kenny in the comments saying he votes Carl for his driver of the day. Kenny, have you voted for him already? Or are you yet to vote for him? I'm not quite sure. DeedeeTKU, I believe he's retired from the race, which is unfortunate. But good to have you on the stream.
Still half an hour to go. It's still a long way to go for driver of the day with Kenny already voting.
Yeah, I mean, you can vote for your favourite driver of the day, and Walker looking for a move up the inside. Is he going to do it? Looks like he will be able to. No, he's still on the outside, is Walker, so I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. They are side by side now, and is it going to be enough? Walker looks like he's going to have the inside coming up towards the chicane, and I think Pryor is going to have to back out of this, although he's later on the brakes. They are still side by side, still leaving each other enough room, and Walker, can he do it? Doesn't look like he will be able to. He might have to back out of this move, and yes, he does. And once again, these five all very, very close. I think for Walker, it would be ideal for him to go for an early pit stop. But he's looks like he's going to keep it on track. Bilotti diving into the pits. Yep, that's a very wise decision from Bilotti there. Just looking at the top two. Walker with a late move down the inside. Is it going to work? And looked like, wow, he's made it stick. I thought he was going to miss the corner there. Pryor set himself up for a switchback. But no, Walker got it stopped in time. And wow, what a move.
And Osh and Kennedy also into the pit lane. Maybe trying to get rid of the tires just at the halfway mark. Perfect timing, but Pryor and Walker, what a battle with these going side by side, and of course some very fair racing with leaving each other some space.
Yeah, definitely. And looks like Kenny saying he's already voted for Carl, and Lord Barth in the comments saying race of the season so far. This is amazing. Yeah, definitely. We've had some brilliant battles, and well, we've only just reached the just past the halfway mark now. So there's still a whole 29 minutes left to go of pure battling. Obviously, we've still got a few drivers to serve their mandatory pit stops. P1 to P. Oh well, actually, I would say P1 to P9, but Matt Whitburn and Cosford now both into the pits. Krasinski's in P21 into the pits as well. Well, we see Pryor going to the pits now. He's slightly dropped off the back of Walker. I think we may see one of these two pull the trigger very shortly. Looks like they... No. Okay, Walker is. And Pryor's staying out on track. He's going to do the opposite to Walker.
Walker's going for the undercut. So, a bit special to see that the car in front again pits the first.
Yeah, maybe his tyre's gone off. We know he did make a pit stop earlier. He got a drive-through penalty. Looking back at the top two, the gap is now opened to 2.5 seconds. And Boothby still lapping in the 34s. De Campo lapping in the 35s now. In fact, that last lap from Boothby was a 35.1. Let's see what it is from... Oh, De Campo into the pits. Okay, so we won't get to see what that lap is.
And Booth be coming up to some lap traffic.
Yeah, so this might aid De Campo massively here, especially if Boothby gets stuck behind this traffic for quite a while. I believe that is Clayton. No, he hasn't really got stuck behind the traffic. Clayton doing a good job at moving out the way, so Boothby is not going to lose time there. Looks like Hartfield has come out the pits now in P16, 2.2 seconds behind Walker. Now Hartfield made, actually Hartfield made a really early stop, in fact. So Walker's now come out 2.5 seconds in front of Hartfield, and Hartfield with the undercut has got past Osh. He's made a huge gap to Kennedy. He's got past Bilotti as well. Look at that. That undercut worked wonders for Hartfield. He's gained about 3-4 positions here.
And I think Bilotti repaired some damage because Bilotti's also behind Kennedy.
Yeah, Bilotti's had a blunder in the pit stop. Something's happened here to Bilotti. Let's bring up the times. Let's see, Bilotti spent 55, actually. Bilotti spent 55 seconds in the pits.
Yeah, and Hartfield spent 57.
Kennedy spent 64 seconds in the pits, but Bilotti somehow still came out behind. And maybe Bilotti's made a mistake somewhere on the track.
Pryor is now in pit lane, P12.
I do wonder if those pit stop times are correct. I believe they are very accurate, but that definitely means Bilotti's made a mistake somewhere. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been behind Kennedy with his pit stop being 9 seconds faster. So something has happened to Bilotti. He's made a mistake somewhere on track. I don't think we'll bring up a replay of what exactly happened, but these two, Whitburn and Thomas, battling for position. Now we saw Thomas was ahead of Whitfoot, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was ahead of Whitfoot, but Whitfoot had a 3 seconds faster pit
stop. Yeah, that's where it's happened. And in fact, I think not changing tyres on the circuit when you're in a battle like this might benefit you, especially if you're struggling to get past the driver in front.
The better thing, I think, if you're defending is not to change tires, because you cannot pass you either way.
Yeah, exactly. And look
from
how close.
Top only Boothby was still needing to pit, but he jumped into the pit right now.
Yeah, and I mean, Thomas hasn't been able to catch a break. He was on the attack earlier, and then he was on the defense from Vitvoot. He's actually now in P3, so he's on a chance for a podium here. But he's now defending from Whitburn. He's been being hounded here by Whitburn. He's not been able to catch a break whatsoever. It's been defending, and a huge mistake there from the Honda driver. Wow, he kept out of the barriers. That was an incredible save.
What a save.
I know. Incredible save, but as a result, look who's caught up. Seeley in the Aston in P6 and Traction Dave in P7, who's had a much better race this time around compared to Spa, which is last round. I believe he retired last round. I think he may have lost the car in Eau Rouge, so I think he picked up a lot of damage there, but he's having a great race here in P7. You can see that Cosford also catching up to this battle, so much action going on here at Zandvoort.
And with Dave trying to get on the back of Seeley for P6, with only half a second between these two drivers, and with Cosford only 1.7 behind. Cosford hoping to join these two drivers into the battle.
Yeah, Cosford that last lap 3/10 quicker than Traction Dave up in front. He's definitely got a chance to catch up here. And after the pit stops, the top two separated by 2.7 seconds. Boothby's pit stop 3/10 quicker than De Campo's, but it looks like Boothby might be able to take another win here at Zandvoort.
And I believe the gap was almost 2.7 when they came into the pits. So Boothby not losing any time in the pit stops, even though he some lap traffic in front of him.
Yeah, just reading the comments, Edie saying Versala, also known as Versala, saying he hasn't had the best week of racing so far, so he's going to change his livery to attention colour so people can see him on the track, and it might work. It might work. Who knows? Yeah, we've also got another battle going on for E14. Pryor, once again, he's involved in so many battles. Van Hoorn trying it around the outside like he did last time. Is it going to work? It might work. Pryor's going to have to leave him the room, but is it going to be enough for Van Hoorn to be able to send it down the inside? No, he backs off of that very early. And in fact, it looks like that's Hartfield who's joining on the action as well. So a three-way battle for P15. We've got another battle going on for P10. That is Paul. Yeah, McFarquhar and Paul Whitburn. I don't know which one's the father and I don't know which one's the son, but yeah, it's either or. It is a father-son duo if I'm not mistaken. But Paul Whitburn currently in P. I believe Paul Whitburn's the father.
Yeah, but what a drama would it be if both Whitburn and both Bryars would battle with each other?
Oh my god, we wouldn't be able to tell who's who.
It would be just Russian roulette, just hope for the best.
Exactly. I think they are in different cars. Let me just double check. I believe one's in the Honda. I'm not too sure. I have to check now. Let's see. Yeah, so Matt Whitburn is in the Honda and Paul Whitburn is in the Audi. He's now defending against McFarquhar. That looks to be Van Hoovel in P22, so he's a lap down at the moment. I believe he may have got caught in something on lap 1. I'm not too sure. But Van Hoorn here trying the outside move once again. Is it going to work? No, got a bit of oversteer, bit of contact between the two. Pryor shuts the door there, but it looks like it was just hard racing between the two. And Van Hoorn, he's trying that outside move. He knows it worked for him last time, and it's definitely possible. But he has to be careful here. If he tries that again, and Hartfield is too close, he's going to open up the door for him, and that's going to be position lost.
And I think Pryor will see it coming the next lap. Maybe Van Hoorn needs to try maybe the inside if he possibly can, or the switchback and try to gain the position another way.
Yeah, that could work as well. There's so many opportunities here for switchbacks at Zandvoort. Even though it is quite a narrow track, where the track opens up into the heavier braking zones, there's so much opportunity for switchbacks. We've got so far in the comments saying, "Make yourself look like a traffic cone." That would be a good way of standing out. Or you get Boothby's livery as well. That works too. Any livery that you can see from the sun or from space does help out. We're going to go on board here with McFarquhar.
With a nice livery, I have to say.
Yeah, I believe it's the Solex livery on that Mercedes. And that last lap he was 2/10 quicker than Whitburn. He's slightly wide. Yeah, you can see there he's had to downshift and shift back up. That's going to lose him some time. And as he's made a mistake in that final corner, it's going to cost him all the way down this start-finish straight, all the way down to turn 1. You can see the gap back to a second between these two.
Also made a mistake of Pryor and Van Hoorn because they're behind Kennedy and Bilotti at the moment.
Oh, they both made a mistake.
So there was, I think, maybe some contact.
Yes, they have. Looks like Van Hoorn down in P18, Pryor down in P19. So Kennedy, Bilotti and Hooschii have gained some freebies there. And in fact, looks like Hooschii is right in the back of Hartfield as well. Let's see if we can find them on track. Here we go.
And both going through the Huguenots bocht and trying two different lines with Hooschii more of a sweeping line and Barth more of an inside line. Hooschii trying to perfect the outside, going into the schijfvlak, trying to keep it close, but I believe Hooschii with a little bit of oversteer. The gap only 7/10, but I believe Kennedy is also catching them a little bit because these two drivers fighting. With the gap behind Hooschii only 2 seconds.
I think they've got the race leader, Boothby, coming to lap them as well. Boothby is, not far off of them. Likewise is the Campo. They are coming up to lap this train. So once again, like we have the leaders lapping some of these drivers in these massive packs, it always throws a spanner into the works and it catches people off guard. If you let the leaders pass at the wrong time, the wrong place, you can lose a number of positions.
And especially at Zandvoort, it's not easy to find any gap for let the leader pass if overtaking is already as hard as it is.
Yeah, exactly. And this actually could aid De Campo. De Campo still with the fastest lap of the race of a 1:34.4. And I think he might be able to close in on Boothby here. Boothby's going to have to navigate through all this traffic. And it's not going to be easy one bit. So De Campo has a great chance here of closing that gap. But he's going to have to take advantage of this as soon as possible. That we look towards Kennedy here, still defending against Bilotti. Bilotti, after that pit stop, has had the same pace. He just hasn't been able to get past Kennedy. And I believe he was quicker before the pit stops. They're both lapping in the 1:36s at the moment.
And Kennedy holding on to P16 and maybe not trying to attack Hooschii here, but trying to keep his position with Bilotti going a bit wide.
Yeah, he's let the leader through, and interesting place to do it into the braking zone, but that has allowed Van Hoorn to close right back up. And could this allow Kennedy to pull away now? Obviously, he's going to have to let Boothby by on this straight. And how easily or how quickly can he do it? The quicker he's able to let Boothby past, the less time he's going to lose. It looks like Carl Van Hoorn down the inside there into turn 1. No, he's on the outside. Actually, no, sorry, he's on the inside into turn 1. It's so difficult to tell with the liveries, and he's got that move done. So I think Van Hoorn's got the black rims and Bilotti's got the blue turquoise rims. And it looks like they're going to have to let De Campo through as well. De Campo's actually lost some time in this traffic. He's lost a lot of time in this traffic, actually, half a second. So Boothby's been able to navigate through much more easily than De Campo has. De Campo's going to... There we go.
Again, a questionable place for the pass of De Campo.
Yeah, it was done. It was done cleanly, but you lose less time doing it on a straight because you don't have to lift too much, and then you can follow the slipstream of the lead car through as well. So I think Bilotti wanted to be a bit respectful there, just to let De Campo through, because he's still in this battle for the lead. I mean, the top two only separated by 4 seconds here, so it's not over yet. We move down to P6. Traction Dave, Leon Seeley and Cody Cosford all in this battle now. And in fact, Thomas up ahead as well.
Yeah, Thomas...
he's made a mistake somewhere.
I believe he was in P3. So maybe he had a moment on his own. With Dave trying to catch up in the frog Porsche.
Frog Porsche, or the Hulk Porsche. It's either one of them. It is a very nice livery though. And I believe it's for his racing league. That livery, not exactly sure, but it is a very nice livery. And I know Lord Perth in the comments is really liking the SOP livery here on Leon Seeley's car. It is a very nice livery, in fact.
Maybe we need to do a livery competition at the end of the season.
That would be, I was thinking of that. So I actually had a dream about a livery competition. That's actually where most of my best ideas come from. It's usually in your sleep. So I was thinking about a livery competition. And I think, now that you've said it, I think we're going to have to do one towards the end of the season. Everyone posts some nice screenshots and pictures of their liveries in the Discord, whether it be... I think we can have separate competitions for console and PC as well.
I think that would be great with something else to finish off again a great season, I think.
Yep, looks like Dave getting passed through, I believe that's Pew in the Porsche, so just doing lap traffic at the moment. That's brought these four even closer together. The gap now from Dave to Thomas is 1 second, so he's knocked off half a second here. Thomas seems to be struggling now. I'm going to see if we can bring up a replay of what happened to Thomas. But it is pretty much daytime now. It's nearly 5 a.m.
And with another battle going on, Hartfield just passed Hooschii, and Kennedy got Van Hoorn on his back with only 3/10.
Yeah, looks like they're very, very close as well. I don't know who to look at, Cody. What do we do? There's so many battles going on. We'll quickly switch to this battle. Well, we've been on the other one for quite a bit. And is that Van Hoorn looking for a move on Kennedy? He's going to try it down the inside. Kennedy's going to leave the door open. There we go. Can Bilotti follow through as well? He's going to try for that inside line. No, backs out of it. Thinks better of that. But good move there from Van Hoorn. And I think... Kennedy's main mission is to hold off Bilotti here. These two are quite similar on pace after the pit stops. So let's try and find out what happened to Thomas. So he was definitely ahead of Whitburn after Whitburn's mistake. We saw him off into the grass earlier, and he kept it out of the barriers.
And Kennedy, Bilotti going a bit wide again to give Kennedy a little bit of breathing space in the last corner. Kennedy trying to stay in the slipstream of Van Hoorn, going into the Tarzan curve. With the gap only 4/10, but Van Hoorn is also catching Hooschii, but also 7/10. So. These drivers really close to each other, but only 9.5 minutes to go into this race.
Yeah, so I found out what happened to Thomas. It was a great move by Whitburn. You can see here, looked, Thomas got a bit of oversteer. Whitburn capitalised on that and took the inside. That's how he got the position back. And I think after that, Thomas started dropping off. You can see there he probably got caught in some traffic as well. And Leon Seeley not too far behind at this point. Well, those three not too far behind either. So Thomas just wasn't able to stick with Whitburn at this point, especially with the traffic you have to navigate through. And that's how he is where he is now. And a bit of oversteer there for Kennedy. Is he going to try and defend this position? Looks like no. He's going to let Bilotti down the inside. Although, can he hang around the outside here? He's going to try it, and a mistake there from Bilotti, but no, a mistake there from Kennedy as well, bouncing over the sausage curves on the inside, and Bilotti gets that move done, but Kennedy in a strong P18 still, and you never know, these drivers in front can definitely make some more mistakes.
And I believe Van Hoorn is trying to make a move on Hooschii, trying it on the inside of the Tarzan.
Later on the brakes, yep, he's got it done. Easy peasy there for Van. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Oh no, commentator's curse. Oh god.
She did it again.
Oh, I did it again.
And even on Van Hoorn. I think you have some explaining to do.
That's one of our admins as well. He's not going to be happy with me after that one. I think he's going to have to pit with that damage. If his steering is straight, I wouldn't pit at all. I'd stay until the end. There's only 7.5 minutes. But if his steering looks okay. For those that are watching, welcome to the commentator's curse.
Let's try and not do that on Sunday, please, or on Monday, or every day that there is a race, because we cannot help it. We will cry afterwards as drivers.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help it. Like I said last time, until someone brings me a 4-leaf clover, this curse isn't going to stop. And what has happened to these two? They've dropped off. Oh, looks like Thomas has got some heavy damage in the front of that Audi. So something else has happened to Thomas here.
And again, a bit of oversteer on that corner with Sealy catching up. And look at the closest speed Sealy has in this Aston Martin. Only thing Thomas is seeing is a ink in his rearview mirror and maybe a little bit of green. We're going into the last couple of corners, up to the Luijendijk corner, and JD looking for a place to pass.
Yeah,
both going a bit wide.
They've both lost time to Josh and Dave and Cosford P5 and P6, so I have no clue what's happened between these two. I don't know if there's a bit of contact. I'm trying to find out on the replay. It's the only way we can find out if anything happened between these two. I really just hope it wasn't a back marker. Oh no, I think I know what's happened. I think well, we'll just wait and see. We will bring up the replay, but I know what's happened. I think Thomas got a bit of oversteer out of one of the chicanes, and it didn't pay off well for him.
At least you didn't curse him this time.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, I didn't do it last race. It was at Donington, where he was the victim of the commentator's curse, unfortunately. We look towards these two, the two Porsches, Cosford and Dave, once again battling on track, and they are very, very similar on pace. And I mean, throughout the season, we've had some great matchups. The top two fairly even on pace, but it's down to consistency, I think, between the top two. Boothby's been able to lap consistent 34s, and I think for De Campo, he's made a few mistakes here and there, because De Campo's just as quick as Boothby, in my opinion, at least on this track at Zandvoort. But it's just consistency. Boothby is so consistent and so clinical. He just doesn't make mistakes.
It's like his car is on rails and just only presses the accelerator and he goes.
Yeah, I mean, even if he has a little bit of a slide, I mean, it doesn't really mean much to him. He just continues like nothing happened. And we've got the replay up of what happened here, so you can see how close they are. And looks like Thomas got a bit of a poor exit there. Looks like he lifted off slightly, and Sealy down the inside tried to capitalise on that, and they both hit the wall there, got a bit of damage, and looks like a bit more contact between the two.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think Thomas was happy with that. Maybe that was a bit unintentional, but yeah, it wasn't a good move there from Sealy at all. Although I'm not sure why Thomas was going very slow. Maybe had to lift off.
No, but still, it might go to the stewards, and who knows what will happen then.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest of the race was really clean so far, so with only 3 minutes to go, let's keep it that way.
Yeah, these two still battling hard for position, but Thomas has got, oh, it looks like he's got a lot more damage than that Aston does, and he's going extremely defensive here early on. And coming up towards the braking zone now, he's going to keep the car in the middle of the track. Sealy not able to go for that move just yet.
Oh, and Thomas defending again really harsh, going again really fast to the inside of the corner, trying to block Sealy as early as he can, because taking on the outside isn't an easy thing to do at Zandvoort. But he's still hanging on with the gap only 3/10.
Yeah, looks like Oce's made a mistake.
Was Dave P5?
Yes, let's quickly watch this battle. They're still side by side. Yeah, no, Cosford's got the move done. And up into P5 he goes, and he's leaving it to, he's left it to the final few laps here. Well, the final 2 laps, I think. Actually, where is Boothby? Boothby, yeah, we're going to have one more lap after this.
But look how many Porsche are in the top 6.
I know, yeah.
All the Hondas have fallen away from...
Yeah, I mean, Pisano made a few errors at the start, so I think he retired the car. There's going to be another DNF for Pisano, unfortunately. But Zandvoort taking no prisoners here.
Oh, and with Bilotti and Pryor overtaking for P16. Oh,
Yeah,
Bilotti
but can Dave hang around the outside? No. But yeah, as you're saying, well, Osha's dropped back as well. He's down to P17 now, behind Bilotti, and Kennedy's up into P15.
Kennedy having a great race at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some great pace here, and he's just picked up the positions and the places where others have been making mistakes, and he. Oh, well, I know they cause it freebies, and a huge mistake there from Dave in the background. That's going to give Cosford a sizable gap there, and I think he won't be having to think about defending anymore this race. He's going to be plain sailing till the end.
With only 20 seconds of race time to go, but still Boothby
Yeah, he's just
on
started
his
lap.
final lap.
Yeah.
Only in turn 4 right now. So it's the last lap for everyone. And
Sealy with a huge lunge down the inside, but Thomas is going to get the exit, and a bit of dooring between the two once again. Thomas not happy with that at all. You can see that flash in the lights from Thomas.
Well,
But that
what
was-
a late move.
Yeah, what a late move. I think it might have been a bit of a dive bomb. But yeah, it worked. It paid off for Sealy, and he moves up a position. I think the contact between them was a bit of hard racing. But I think, yeah, Thomas is gonna probably put some reports into the stewards. He doesn't seem to be happy after that at all. But Thomas, where did he start in this race? He started P8. So he hasn't actually lost any positions from his qualifying. Well, his starting position.
And only Foot gaining 4 positions starting from P7. He's now on the podium. Boothby already finished.
Oh, sugar. We forgot Boothby there. Crossed his line in P1 to finish yet another race. Oh, to win yet another race. De Campo crossing the line in P2. Only 6 seconds behind Boothby. Usually we've seen Boothby with a huge lead, but this time he's been able to stick close. And he's given a big challenge to Boothby so far. And looks like they're going to go in formation here, which is nice to see. Ritroot is going to cross the line in P3 for a podium. I believe his first podium of the season, and he's going to be happy with that at his home track as well. And yeah, I think you can't be happier or well, yeah, you can't be happier than that, finishing on the podium at your home track. These two still going in formation? No, they're in the pits now. Matt Whitburn's going to finish in P4 as well. I think that's his best finishing position of the season. Cosford in P5. Dave in P6. Seeley in P7. Thomas in P8. Vining in P9. See, they're just crossing the line now in P9. And where is Paul Whitburn? Paul Whitburn is going to have, well, the last few races, he's had a bit of contact. He hasn't had the best of races, but this time he's going to cross the line in P10 to finish, well, with his car in pristine condition this time. And someone's doing donuts. Who is it? I'm not sure who it is, but there we have it. Boothby in P1, DeCampo in P2, and Vitbu in P3. We'll be back very shortly for some interviews, so make sure to stay tuned. Right, we'll see if we can get some interviews with some of the drivers then. Luciano, we're going to move him over. Luciano, what a race from you. Finishing on the podium, and we believe at your home track as well. How are you feeling after that one?
It was a little bit exhausting, to be honest. Starting P6 and then, yeah, of course, other drivers made a mistake. So I could profit from that, but overall it was a race of survival, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, is that your best finish of the season so far?
Yeah, last race I was P10, so that was my best so far, and now P3, so I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, some good points for the season as well, and with it being your home track, I think your supporters, the team are going to be happy with you as well, and I think Cosford, Cody is going to be really happy for you after that race as well. He's cheering you in the comments.
yeah, we practiced a lot together, so it's really thanks to him that I got an amazing setup for the car, so big shout out to him.
Yeah, I mean, you two were very close at the start of the race as well. You always seem to be, well, next to each other in the race and in quali, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, pace is very equal for the both of us. Of course, he had a little bad luck with getting spun. I don't know who spun him, but it was some bad luck for him. But overall, a really good result as well, P5. So I'm really happy for him as well.
Yeah, and next round is Zolder.
Yep.
How are you looking forward? Are you looking forward to it, in fact, or?
Yeah, I live even closer to Zolder, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, once again, congratulations on the result, and we look forward to seeing you next round.
Thank you very much, guys.
Take care.
Yep. Bye bye.
There we have it. That was Vitvoot there. Yep. We're going to bring in the man himself, George Boothby. Here we go, George. Another race win from you. I mean, I'm going to get tired of saying that from now on. But yeah, what a race. And you had some competition at the start with Matteo De Campo. But yeah, managed to pull away from him. I think you had some better consistency he made a few mistakes here and there, and yeah, that's just what allowed you to pull away as well. So how are you feeling after that?
Hey, thank you, Ben. Yeah, it was Zandvoort is a track that's like not often used in this game, and so I didn't have too much like practice on it. I guess like not many other people did either. So it's because it's just like I say, it's not really used too much, which is a shame because it's actually quite a good track. So yeah, I started practicing today and sort of like found my pace a bit, and I feel like I was still finding my pace during that race, and yeah, definitely like in quali, I had to really nail a lap to try and get pole there. And then, yeah, at the start of the race, I just couldn't pull away. So I was like contemplating what to do with like the strategy. And, you know, I think even when we got to the pit stop, there was only a few seconds between us. So I just chose to gamble and stay out a bit. So I had fresher tires for the second stint. And I got lucky because I think he got like held up or maybe had a bad pit stop or something. I'm not quite sure. But it meant that I came out with like the same gap, even though he tried to do the undercut. So with fresher tires, I was able to just like, you know, do my thing, pull away, and like I said, I just felt like I found like, you know, just a bit more pace as I went along. So that was good. And yeah, I just could have asked for a more, you know, a better race at least in terms of just like how I drove. I was really happy with it. Didn't make too many big mistakes, so yeah, really happy. And on to the next one. I think it's Zolder, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that could
another
be very
circuit.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting track with the chicane there. So I'm hoping the Honda takes it well. I'm not too sure, to be honest, but I think it's pretty quick there. The Porsche as well. So yeah, it should be a good battle, hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't turn into flight sim through those chicanes. But yeah, congrats once again, and yeah, we'll see you for next week.
Hey, no worries. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Take care. There we have it. That was Boothby with yet another win here in the MOZA Racing GT3 Championship. Before we go, I don't think we had many votes for the driver of the day, but Van Hoorn got driver of the day there in this race. We won't bother bringing it up at the moment, but yeah, Van Hoorn, congratulations on driver of the day. And from me and Cody, that's it for this round here. We'll be back live on Sunday for the PS5 GT3 Championship, where we are at Watkins Glen. So we're another American track once again. And yeah, that's pretty much it from us. And we'll see you then. Good night.